Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Wisconsin Big Idea Tournament. My name is Adira Sunkara, and I'm the Manager of Innovative Ventures at WISES. Today's WBIT State Finals will showcase student entrepreneurs from across the state. You will see business idea presentations from 6 campuses today. These student finalists have been working on their business ideas over the past few months with guidance from mentors and university faculty. Presenters today will be judged not only on their business idea, but also on their use of the business model canvas and the evidence-based methodologies that they use to test their business hypotheses. Teams will be competing today for 3 cash prizes. The first prize is for $2,500, the second one for $1,500, and the third prize for $750. As part of the Wisconsin Big Idea Tournament, participants had the opportunity to meet with business and entrepreneurship experts. I would like to take a moment to thank the following mentors for participating in the Speed Mentoring event earlier this month. From Georgia Pacific, we had Darren Drayson. From Titletown Tech, we had Aaron Kennedy. From Kentucky Commercialization Ventures, we had Monique Quarterman. We had Colleen Merrill from the Small Business Development Center, and we had Kelly Berry from Resourceability. One of our judges here, Idella Yambin, was also critical in providing feedback to our participants on their presentations. I would also like to extend a special thank you to our sponsors, the University of Wisconsin System and the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, for supporting this event. Now, to kick off this event, I would like to invite WISE's President and Trustee, Arjun Sangha, to say a few words. Arjun.
Thanks, Adira. I really appreciate it. We're really excited to host this event for the 5th year running. WISES is an organization that supports innovation throughout the UW system. Last year, we launched the WISES Venture Home program to better support and nurture scalable startups throughout Wisconsin. In fact, 12 startups so far have benefited from the WISES Venture Home program, and we're gaining traction in communities like Eau Claire, Platteville, Green Bay, Oshkosh, and Superior. An exciting accolade for WISES and for our regional campuses occurred last year, where we were recently ranked number 2 in the country in innovation impact productivity among small research institutions. This is really a reflection of the great work that's going on throughout the system and the work that we're going to see today. So we're really excited to see all of the great presentations. As I mentioned, the WBIT is, this is the 5th year running that we've had this competition. It's an entrepreneurship competition that's open to undergraduate and graduate students attending University of Wisconsin system schools across the state outside of UW-Madison. The competition teaches cutting-edge lean startup business development tools, provides business mentorship, and allows participants to compete at a state level for a chance to win seed funding for their ideas, as Adira mentioned. Local qualifiers were held across all of our campuses, and we also had an at-large round. This year's 6 finalists presenting today are from 6 different University of Wisconsin institutions. So let me introduce our judges, who are really grateful, and we just have a terrific panel for you today. Greg Keenan, Senior Director of Ventures and Accelerator at WARF. He has more than 20 years technology commercialization experience, including leadership positions in Fortune 500 startup and small cap public companies. And he's also a member of our WISES Venture Home Advisory Committee. Thank you, Greg. Idella Yambin manages the Idea Advance program for the UW system and is the director of the Center for Technology Commercialization. She has a PhD in biology and over 7 years assisting high-tech entrepreneurs, specializes in training companies in the lean startup method, and plays an instrumental role in providing feedback to WBIT finalists, as Adira mentioned, every year. Last but not least, we're really privileged today to have Secretary Melissa Hughes, or Missy Hughes. She's the Secretary and CEO at the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, the WEDC. The WEDC is committed to creating and maintaining a business climate that allows businesses to maximize their potential. Working with more than 600 statewide partners, including regional economic development organizations, academic institutions, and industry groups, they enhance our communities and support entrepreneurship to help Wisconsin realize its full economic potential. Before joining the WEDC in October of 2019, Missy was a general counsel and chief mission officer at Organic Valley. She served on the boards of the Environmental Working Group and Organic Trade Association, where she was a 3-term board president, and U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, appointed Missy Hughes to the USDA Advisory Committee on Agriculture and Biotechnology in the 21st Century. We're really grateful and privileged to have Missy Hughes here today, not only to give us a keynote speech, but to be a judge. So now I'd like to turn it over to Missy to share with us more about WEDC's mission and the importance of student entrepreneurs and your role in building the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Wisconsin. Missy?
Thanks, Arjun. Thank you so much for that kind introduction. Welcome, everybody. And I'm sure you're all nervous and ready to get pitching. So I'm not going to talk too long, but I will say that I'm just having the week of innovation here in Wisconsin. Starting with today, I'm up in Green Bay and had a chance to meet with a founder who is starting a business and just really doing a tremendous piece of work with starting a hydroponic business of growing lettuce and herbs and basil, but really in an incredibly energy efficient way and in a really convenient way for restaurants and institutions and even at home. So it was just an amazing visit. He's working with Titletown Tech. And I had a chance to talk with him because he is part of our program, which is called the Qualified New Business Venture Program. And through that program, someone who invests in his company is able to receive a 25% tax credit on their investment. The reason I'm mentioning this to you all is because I want you to know that the state is here to support your work as you think about big ideas, as you think about ways that you want to start a business and grow it here in Wisconsin. We've got your back. Yesterday, I had a chance to meet with the Wisconsin Legislators Tech Caucus. So this is a group of legislators that have come together who are really interested in what's happening in the technology space in Wisconsin. And I was talking with them about the governor's proposal to create a $100 million venture capital fund. And again, this is creating the tools to support the ideas that are coming out of our entrepreneurs and our innovators, and particularly those of you in our Wisconsin system of schools who are really ready to take these ideas to the next level. And I've talked with Arjun about the Venture Home project that is coming, and it's just so exciting to see these ideas being birthed all around at our campuses, all around the system. And it's just a real testament to the investment that Wisconsin has made in the idea that you can grow ideas here, that you can create ideas here, and that you can bring them to market and be able to stay here and hire people and raise your families and send them back to the great schools that you're going to. So I just really want to thank you for the opportunity to hear your ideas. I want to in particular thank you for your work in being bold enough to follow your ideas and your passion. Right now, with everything that's going on in the universe, it'd be easy to just, play video games and call it good. But you all have taken the extra step and the bold step of thinking about what can I do to solve a problem or to create wealth. And, all of these things are really critically important that we think about now as we head into economic recovery. And at WEDC, we're dedicated to every Wisconsinite having the opportunity to prosper. And so bringing these new ideas, thinking about solutions and thinking about how to energize our economy is incredibly important, and you're a part of that. And so I can't thank you enough for your work. I'm really excited to hear your ideas and to understand what you're bringing to the table and how we can support you and have your back. So thank you again and best of luck.
Thank you, Secretary Hughes. I think it means a lot to our students to know that WEDC is there to help and support entrepreneurs. no matter what stage they're in. So I would like to say that due to the online format of the presentations and due to the time limitations, we will not have the opportunity to ask questions of our participants. But at this time, I would like to invite the participants to put their name, their company name, and their email or website info into the chat if they would like our judges or any of our attendees to view or contact them. Make sure that when you do put that information in, that you're picking all panelists and attendees if you would like it to be a broader audience that you're sending your information to. I will give the participants just a couple of seconds here to do that so that we're not interrupting our first presenter. And while we wait, I also want to take a minute to thank all of our campus champions. As Arjun mentioned, the Wisconsin Big Idea Tournament is a months-long process. It's not just what you see here. And part of that process is our local qualifiers. And our campus champions help arrange those qualifiers and mentor the student participants to get them ready for these finals. Okay, so first up, we have Advantage Point presented by Ross Younger from UW-Milwaukee. Take it away, Ross.
Thank you, and I'll share my LinkedIn information a little bit later. I'm juggling a lot of AV elements here, but I do want to thank you guys for welcoming here today as part of the Big Idea Tournament. I'm Ross Younger, and today I'm representing UW-Milwaukee, where I'm pursuing my MBA and promoting my company, Advantage Point 360 Productions. Advantage Point is a virtual production studio that creates, posts, and promotes highly immersive 360-degree photography, virtual tours, and related 360-degree digital content, which I believe puts us in a unique position to provide customers of location-based businesses what they require most right now: the comfort, transparency, and confidence to return to in-person visits. And as you'll see, our robust tailor-made tours mean that where others see an empty wall, Advantage Point sees a blank canvas. As we begin, you should know that 1 year ago, you might have known me by another name, Agent Food. Back in 2019, I launched a secret agent-themed food tour company in Milwaukee called Secret Food Tours, which offered guests a unique culinary adventure touching all the best sights, sounds, and beer our city had to offer. Agent Food was well equipped for each and every mission, but the pandemic was one thing this agent could not prepare for. When the nation went into quarantine, the Secret Food Tour went into a long hibernation. As I adjusted to this very abrupt change, I began to explore virtual alternatives to in-person tours, which had me pivot towards live tours provided towards Zoom. My friends at the Lubar Entrepreneurship Center helped me vet this concept, which went through several iterations. When being live on location presented some really stiff hurdles that we just could not get over, I bought the gear to create immersive digital content, swapping my Secret Service earpiece in for a 360-degree camera. I spent the next few months posting photos on Google Maps and was surprised to see that I didn't get hundreds, but thousands of views on these photos. This validated for me the value that could be provided to businesses looking for an advantage during a challenging time. After all, these businesses are operating different than ever before, so it's important that they welcome the public in like never before. I went on to develop this concept through the Generator G Alpha program, and they really helped me build this into a scalable business. They gave me some structure, they gave me some bullet points, and they helped me go through a detailed business model canvas. And I learned that businesses like that and consumers, that this provides very immersive and interactive content for consumers, so they can go look around a space and experience that first-person view, importantly, from the safety of their own home. To build a portfolio and to get to know my customer, Advantage Point provided many collaborative, complimentary tours as part of something that we called Courtesy Tour Month. Through this process, I gained an understanding of how virtual tours could achieve the goal of enhancing the online presence of these companies. One great location example is Terrace 167. It's an event venue in Richfield, Wisconsin. And they did not have a great vision on Google at the time. And so we sought out to change that and to really improve them. And they've seen some great results with over 26,000 Google views to date. Now, we go above and beyond to make sure that what we're providing is truly different content by making sure to acknowledge the way that Google sees these images. Much like I like to think of Neo in the Matrix, Google doesn't see an image like you and I do. It sees it all in code. And so what we do is we provide the metadata, the keywords, and the titles necessary to make sure that that really sticks out prominently in their search algorithm. To date, we have over 4 million Google views, which I think is in large part due to the fact that people can view this content on any device, any tablet, any PC, any virtual reality headset, believe it or not. And we continue to develop this concept with a wide variety of these location-based businesses. And there's a big list of them here, but you can see that they really run the gamut from car repair companies to restaurants to commercial real estate and beyond. And so what we did is we really came up with a concept that we think of as the product value snowball. And at the core of every product value snowball is that core 360 image. But again, we go far beyond the 360 image. So once we have that, we develop it and we turn that into 360 tours that are highly customizable, to Google tours if that's something that is needed, or even really highly immersive social media content. And again, that allows us to really back up the fact that where others see a blank wall, at Vantage Point sees an empty canvas. Now, this is in comparison to our competition that really offers no branding whatsoever. Essentially, if you want the logo of the company that creates these tours on the tour, that can make that happen. But if you want any other custom branding, that is not possible, which I think really differentiates us. And that's something that I think is better just seen for yourself. There was not this buff Santa in this photo. None of this furniture was here. But this is something that we can really embrace. Graphics can be implemented. And I think that one of the best examples of this is the UWM Innovators Expo that took place earlier this month. This had over 53 students and staff produce and promote their various startup businesses. And we did this all in a virtual Lubar Entrepreneurship Center. And as you can see, these are all elements here that are not typically part of a virtual tour and are also not typically something that you would be able to view in this space. It would be quite costly to do all of this canvas and branding, for instance. And I think that was a really collaborative project that proved to me that this is something that's really neat and something that we can really expand into. We are looking at senior living right now as our specific niche to get into, given their high need. But really, we see this as an opportunity that down the line could impact every local business, and that the supply of photos will really exponentially grow because, listen, it's not that difficult to take a picture, which is why you need somebody to build on that blank canvas. And Vantage Point 360 is here to build on your canvas. So Adhira, thank you so much for cutting me off. I have 3 seconds, and thank you, judges.
Great. Thank you so much, Ross. That was a great presentation. Okay. So next we have George Sosek and Jason Tamarin from UW Whitewater with battery here.
All right.
Hold 1 second, guys. I'm going to share my screen so they can see your presentation. Okay, go ahead and start.
Remember the last time your phone was about to die and you had absolutely no possible way of charging your phone? Well, rest assured, we have a solution to that problem with Battery Savior. My name is Jason Tamris. I'm the Vice President and co-founder of Battery Savior, and this is George Tolchuk, the founder and president of Battery Savior. Next.
So the first thing we had to do is we had to go to the business model canvas and identify the problem. The problem is that phone batteries only last on average around 5 hours a day. And 55% of Generation Z is on their phone for more than 5 hours a day. 26% is on their phone for more than 10 hours a day. And the problem is these days, people are more willing to forget a toothbrush than their phone charger. As a result, as battery percentage is dying, people get angry, they get anxious, and they get crazy like the guy in the picture here. As a result, there are only a few solutions. There's on-the-go charging stations, which you're susceptible to getting your identity hacked through malware hacking. They're overcrowded. You have to take a step away from what you're normally doing in your day to go charge your phone. The other solution is a portable charger. However, they're bulky, they have a cord. It's just inconvenient. And so our value proposition is that we need to develop a cheap, efficient way to charge your phone at any customer's inconvenience. Next. So our first idea was a disposable charger. However, we quickly discovered that the technology was too weak and financially it was impractical. It was a ripoff. And it wasn't time efficient. If it was going to charge your phone, it would take around 4 hours. And most of the time the product would be defective. So disposable chargers were not the solution. Next. So we decided to get out in the real world and really ask our customers what they're looking for. And they said they're looking for a product that's rechargeable, it's environmentally friendly, it's cheap, it's cordless, it charges your phone quickly, and it's customizable. So we went on to Alibaba and we reached out to 6 different manufacturers. However, only one stood out in particular. And in fact, that was actually the only manufacturer that spoke English. But the product had all the characteristics we were looking for. And in fact, we were able to get our hands on this product before everyone else in the entire United States. With that being said, this product has a patent in China, and now we own the exclusive rights to be the only buyer of this product in the United States. This product also comes iPhone certified and Android certified. Next. So we went back to our business model canvas, and we realized JHC Tech is now a key partner, and the disposable chargers were not a solution, but this new product was exactly what the market in the United States needed. Next.
So now we had a product. However, we had to find how big is the demand? Where's the demand the highest? And where's this we can sell the most units? So we worked hand in hand with marketing professors at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, where they were able to give surveys to 85 marketing students at Whitewater. So we were able to discover that 76.5% of people find a time in their day where they don't have access to a charger at all and their phone's about to die. And then we had 83.5% of people say they will buy a product with ours. And we found out that where this is going to sell the most, according to students, was Amazon, travel centers, airports, festivals, concerts, and then small and large venues. Next.
So now that we knew our product was economically viable, we went in Clubhouse because we needed to find somebody to help us in channel development. We reached out to over 100 people, and the only guy that stood out to us was David Perez. He's a serial entrepreneur out of San Diego, California. He's been in the industry for the last 30 years. He's helped companies in media, wholesale, convenience stores. He runs an affiliate marketing team in San Diego. He's got a sales team who contacts the buyers of these corporate companies all across the United States. And our deal with him is he's basically a salesman on net profit orders to wholesale. Next. So we went back to the business model canvas and we realized now that David Perez is a key partner. And now we're going to go wholesale first because of David connections, and then we'll let the product trickle down into the smaller markets. Now our key activities were drop shipping, digital marketing, and channel development. Next.
Now we have to ask ourselves this question: will the business model work? So what we did was we went to Wisconsin and Illinois, we went to multiple retail locations, and we also looked at multiple e-commerce websites. And on e-commerce, we saw the Portal Charge, iWalk, and the Charge Tab. Now the Charge Tab is a disposable charger, got very, very poor reviews and includes that dongle. iWalk and Portal Charge are quite expensive, and they're not sold at a convenience factor, and they're not selling a lot of units. Now, a typical portable charger is between $20 to $100, and you're going to need to cord, which is going to cost you extra money, and you need that big bulky charger you got to carry around everywhere with you. Next. So we were ecstatic when we found out we can buy these for $3 a unit at 5,000 units for are manufactured, packaged, and land in the USA. So we relayed this information right to David, who was our business channel partner, and he started focus group studies. And we wanted to find out how much are we going to sell this for as a retail price? What's the suggested retail price? So they came up with $8.97 as the suggested retail price for retailers to sell it. However, we came up with the solution that we're going to sell it at $6 a unit to wholesalers, and they can sell for the $8.97 per unit. I think that's fair margins for both sides. And if they want to, they can sell it at a higher price because it's a product of convenience. Next. So we needed a business team behind us. We needed people who were experienced in the business world. So we went to the Collegiate Entrepreneurship Organization, the Launchpad, and we found Professor William Dugan, who's helped multiple business startups. And he's been doing it for 20 years. And he's really just helped us get this idea off the ground and walked us through how to start our business. And then we had David Perez, who we talked about earlier. And then finally, Frank McKinney, who's helping us on the finance side, who's a real estate investor, philanthropist, and a real estate artist. Next.
So you're probably thinking, why George? Why Jason? Who are these guys? Let me tell you, we're accepted into Launchpad, which is a program at Whitewater. It's very prestigious. We got free mentoring from the entrepreneurial department. We've won multiple sales competitions for AMA. I'm the president of the Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization. Jason's the chief of competitions. We have direct sales experience in real estate. We're real estate agents for HomeSmart last summer. With this being said, we understand sales, we understand finance, we understand how to get in touch with the right people to get this product out into the market. Next. Our next steps is we're going wholesale, promotional, and Amazon first. Tomorrow we have a meeting with ABC Gifts. They work with 4,300 clients nationwide. David's working on scheduling a corporate meeting with 7-Eleven, and he's also talking with the buyers of Walmart, Target, Costco, and CVS. Following this, we'll go to airports, concerts, and travel centers. Next.
Yeah, a few seconds left.
All right. Well, thank you. That concludes our presentation. Any questions? And here's the product. It's the prototype.
That's the prototype. It's right on the bottom of your phone, just like that.
So charges.
One-time use charges for 100%. I think rechargeable also.
Great, thank you. Showing us the product as well.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So next up, we have Gabrielle Richardson from UW Parkside presenting on Lingua MD.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle Richardson, and I would like to present Lingua MD. So once again, my name is Gabrielle Richardson, and this is Lingua MD, which is a healthcare picture translation app used to enhance patient understanding of diagnosis and treatment. Next. After volunteering at a free clinic for 3 years, I've had the opportunity to take care of numerous patients with various disparities affecting their health. A few of these disparities include language barriers, minority status, special needs, and illiteracy. Being illiterate means a person is unable to read or write in their native language. One day, while I was at the clinic, I had a Hispanic patient, who we'll call Jose, come in for an exam due to various health concerns. Upon arrival, we asked our patients to complete a survey about their current health state, along with completing basic demographic information. Jose walked up to the front desk and quietly told us he didn't know how to fill out those forms because he never learned to read or write. I soon began to realize Jose's problem was far greater than filling out forms. This extended to his ability to understand the written instructions we gave him about his disease and treatment, as well as something as common as scheduling his next appointment. Next. This interaction with Jose led me to question, could an app be created and used to improve patient outcomes and efficacy of care? Who will use this app and how will it be paid for? Next. In order to answer some of these questions, I needed to complete product feasibility research. I began by examining the patient population at the free clinic I volunteer at. Over 70% of our patients cannot either speak, read, or write in English. Next, I discovered 10% of the adult population in the US is unable to read or write in their native language. and that the nation's total healthcare expenditure associated with special needs or cognitive impairments like a stroke or hearing loss has a total cost of $51.2 billion annually. This data was a pivotal moment for the development of LinguaMD. Next. The first discussion occurred with the UW Parkside App Factory on whether a picture translation app such as LinguaMD could even be built, as well as the cost associated with it. UW Parkside App Factory is a professional software development service which quoted the cost to build LinguaMD at $10,000. LinguaMD construction was instead incorporated into the curriculum of a software engineering course offered through UW Parkside, reducing the cost to $0. Then I spoke to real patients and healthcare providers to determine where their need was. When discussing what patients and physicians would like to see in a medical app, accessibility and ease became one of the primary concerns for both parties. This ultimately led to asking what features would LinguaMD need to fill a wide range of both patient and physician needs while being accessible and easy to use. Next. The three unique features which distinguish LinguaMD from other apps and services that currently exist are picture translation, recording a diagnosis, treatment plan, and medication use, and machine learning to provide accurate medical interpretation. The leading medical translation app, Canopy Speak, which only has pre-made sentences which can be read to patients. The problem with pre-made sentences is it only tells the patient what the doctor is trying to communicate, thus creating a language barrier where patients cannot be understood when they communicate back. This appears to be no current solutions available for patients who are illiterate besides strictly verbal communication. But as we all know, we do not have perfect memories, and without an ability to write down information, the patient forgets and is unable to complete their treatment. The picture translation will allow patients to see what the provider is explaining, as well as have a saved picture record of the conversation to forego the concern of illiteracy. The recording function allows patients to replay sections of their conversations with the provider so they can remember what they were instructed to do. This is useful to special needs or illiterate populations with impairments such as the elderly. Lastly, the app will have regular verbal translation function, which will use machine learning to continuously improve on the accuracy of translation. Next. LinguaMD works by the app automatically detecting the two languages which will be spoken between the conversation. Once the conversation begins, the app starts translating verbally and through writing. The words that have pictures associated with them are automatically detected and are highlighted so the patient can review those words later or to provide the physician the tool to easily click on the highlighted word to show the patient what they mean. This can also be seen on the left-hand side of the screen, and once the yellow highlighted word is clicked, it will appear as it is seen on the right-hand side of the screen where the word pops up with the picture. Next. The business model for LinguaMD is heavily focused on partners, the channels in which we will be able to make this available to patients and providers, and the revenue streams. Our primary partners are the students who I have mentioned previously designing the app. Our second partner is the UW-Madison Law Clinic, which serves the purpose of discussing and drafting ways in which to protect the company from legal and health liability. The way in which LinguaMD will reach patients is through first being tested for 1 year in free clinic settings throughout Wisconsin. Throughout this process, we will receive feedback on how to modify the app for most satisfaction. Once it's gone through rigorous testing with the free clinics, it'll be offered to the various health organizations in Wisconsin on a free prototype basis. The way in which we will finance the initial prototype phase will be through the applications and the grants funding through the National Institute of Health. This is a US-funded government organization which frequently provides hundreds of thousands of dollars to conduct research or offer products to decrease barriers to health communication. Next. Once LinguaMD has gone through the 1 year market testing phase, its revenue model will be as follows. The fixed costs will include the consistent software update and improvement. The variable costs could include paying staff to train doctors and patients on how to use the app, as well as account for any unforeseen costs in the future. Revenue would be achieved through licensing LinguaMD to other health organizations. Next. Our next steps include applying to the NIH for a grant to fund the one-year market experiment, using part of the funding to have the UW Parkside App Factory officially complete Lingua MD on a professional level, and finally release the app to market next. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Gabrielle. That was great. You had 1 second left, so perfect timing. Okay, so next up we have Technology Literacy Training for Older Adults by Sherry Brownham from UW Green Bay.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sherry Branham, and I am a social work major at UW-GB. Today, I would like to discuss an ongoing concern, which is a lack of technology training for older adults. Next slide. I chose this topic because in the last year of my grandma's life, we had many challenges. One was technology. My mom, who is in her 60s, struggles with technology as well. This topic was one I knew I could do something about, which inspired me to create a resource for older adults. Next slide. My first hypothesis was that technology training is in need for older adults due to technology constantly advancing and becoming an integrated part of society. Next slide. I began the process by doing research. I found that older adults need help with technology, had low confidence in using technology, are less likely to adapt to technology, and that internet use drops with age. I also found that technology can improve cognitive functioning, autonomy, and quality of life. Next slide. Older adults mostly view technology as having a positive impact on society, so it appears that many older adults would be open to using technology, especially when it pertains their health. Older adults will soon surpass younger generations, so virtual healthcare may become more common with less providers for our older population. The results of my research validated my hypothesis. Next slide. I then decided in-home technology training would be helpful when compared to virtual, since many older adults may struggle accessing online resources due to lack of familiarity. This resource would increase older adults' ability to use technology and would provide the older adult a mentor at no cost, which technology mentorship has shown to be beneficial for older adults. This will be convenient, affordable, and accessible, which leads to my next hypothesis. Next slide. This would be to identify if technology training is available for older adults. Next slide. Locally, the Aging and Disability Resource Center provides free in-home technology help on a case-by-case basis. Other local agencies provide an assistive technology room or step-by-step instructions to access virtual programming, but do not go into the home. Since the ADRC provides this resource, this hypothesis is validated. Next slide. The key partners would be the UW-GB students and professors, older adults, and the ADRC. The students would provide the in-home training, and the ADRC would provide referrals of older adults who need technology assistance. While there would be a technology training reference platform, the students would have the knowledge of technology to provide the help to older adults. Next slide. Upon continued research, after identifying my solution to the problem, I found there is an in-person or virtual mentorship program in Rhode Island that helps older adults with technology through college students. There is also a program where a local team leadership program helps older adults on how to use a smartphone virtually, facilitated through the ADRC. Next slide. For pivots, I decided to switch to any device to make life easier: Alexa, smart lights, thermostats, grocery orders, and so much more, as opposed to just cell phones, which the local resource room students offers. There will also be an emphasis on healthcare, including how to do e-visits, schedule appointments, access to patient portals, since this is not currently an available resource. I would also add virtual options if there's interest in this format, since it's commonly used in other programs. Next slide. My third hypothesis would be that older adults would use this resource and would be comfortable working with college students. Next slide. To ensure this hypothesis, we need to provide surveys to the older adults through the ADRC. The ADRC recently has done surveys where there was strong indication of interest in free technology help, as well as a theme in feeling isolated and lonely. The next step will be to provide a survey to identify if older adults would use a program where they receive help from college students. Since this has not yet been distributed, I cannot validate this hypothesis. Next slide. For cost structure, there would be fees when it comes to ensuring students would be able to work with the older adults. To pay for this process, grants would be applied for through the Greater Green Bay Community Foundation. Next slide. My go-to-market strategy will be to establish a memorandum of understanding with the ADRC and UWGB, which I am working on with the ADRC. I will recruit students at UWGB and work with professors in IT, computer science, and helping professions to see if participation will count towards internship hours. I will continue working on the surveys, set up scheduling platform, consent forms, and training reference platform. Next slide. The outcomes of this program will increase confidence in health and technology literacy for older adults. It will improve their quality of life through technology use and foster independence. It will also encourage intergenerational interactions to decrease loneliness in older adults. Next slide. Next, I will recruit students through UWGB professors, continue working with the ADRC on surveys, and seek out funding to help with the vetting process of student volunteers. The ADRC is supportive of this partnership, and my hope is to continue this process to ensure older adults have help with technology. Next slide. Finally, I leave you with a quote from the ADRC Prevention Coordinator in Brown County. This quote shows how valuable this resource is to older adults and to the ADRC. Expanding this program is key, and the award money for this competition would go towards the recruitment process, fees for advertisement, and childcare for my 4 children, so I can invest and dedicate my time into this. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you, Sherry. That was a very good presentation. Okay, so next up, we have Elizabeth Kelly from UW Stout, who is going to talk to us about her company, UV Bag. Elizabeth, do you want to?
Yes, sorry. So hi, I'm Elizabeth Kelly. I'm from UW Stout in the Industrial Design program, and I created this bag called UV Bag, and I will be showing my presentation through a video today for all of you. So thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy my presentation.
Belongings clean and sanitized can be a struggle. Your portable devices, writing utensils, notebooks, lunch containers, and drink bottles are natural spreaders of germs, and it has taken a pandemic to open up the field of new innovations like ours. UV Bag is a wearable business accessory that serves as a sanitizing device, helping to ensure the safety among individuals in the workplace. While there are thousands of briefcases, purses, and backpacks on the market, the formal portfolio briefcase carried by individuals in the United States every day holds the potential for added value to bring added profit. With the use of inspiration from different leather and mixed material products came out various design ideations of different products ranging from masks to bags. Through a series of design iterations from the average to the extraordinary in both design and functionality, I have taken on board the feedback of potential end users, material specialists, and UV engineers to create UV Bag for the pandemic and post-pandemic upscale market. This is the first prototype of the UV Bag. In the first feedback session, the users were positive towards the adjustable straps and the versatility of the bag, but they felt that the wearability could be more comfortable. The bag was too boxy, and it was difficult to find the on-off switch, a feature that was already a bit different for a briefcase. They liked the zipper construction, but were surprised by its position on the side of the bag. This is the second prototype of the UV bag. Following the first feedback round, I made changes and the user said that the Velcro fastening made too much noise and would be disruptive in many business environments. They could still not find the on-off switch, and they wanted to be able to access the interior of the bag without having to take it off. This is the third prototype of the UV bag. Following the second feedback round, I made changes and the users responded really well to the new slanted line on the front of the bag. They were able to find the on-off button, which I placed on the front of the bag, and they liked the zipper placement. Additional handles on the side also made the bag easier to carry. One of the users said, "This is something I would wear in the office." While feedback rounds are essential to a good-looking and functional product, the process requires attention to other details as well, including choice and cost of materials, access to materials, and technology. This shows the interior of the bag with the pockets and the exterior parts, such as the back with the straps and also the front with the logo button feature. I created a storyboard of how the bag would be used on a typical basis. From all the feedback from the user testing, this bag is a solution. It incorporates various handles for easy carrying. It has a zipper on the side for easy access. And the logo on the front has a button to turn the UV lights on and off. It also lights up to let the user know that the lights are actually on in cleaning your products. While the cost of materials is low, I focus more on quality of the product that would satisfy an upscale market. With the pricing at $200 to $400 allows for high quality manufacturing and materials with high margins in a niche market. Grandview Market Analysis from 2018 projected the North American carry cases market, including backpacks, briefcases, and messenger bags, to be an increasingly growing market, with revenues forecasted in 2025 at $4.31 billion, reflecting a growth rate of 5.9% over the next 4 years. The market competitors includes Targus, Torg, Fabrique, Lenovo, Swissgear, Thule Group, Asus, Case Logic, North Face, and Design Corp, none of which design a bag like this one. The New York Times Wirecutter Review in December of last year tested 25 briefcases over 3 years and picked their favorite 25. UV bag is not yet one of the top picks, but we know from the market demand that we can compete. According to the New York Times Wirecutter, a briefcase signifies you're a professional and it's the go-to gift for a law school or MBA graduate. Here are some in-context photos of the bag in action. I'd like to share a video of the UV bag in action. The UV bag is a sanitizing device helping to ensure the safety among individuals within the workplace. I'd love to bring this product to market. Thank you so much for listening, and please ask me any questions you'd like. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth, for that really great video and for the product demo. So next up, we have Adjust a Slice, which is being presented by Chase Sarver from UW Eau Claire.
All right. When's the last time you've been in a house that did not have a spatula? Hi, my name is Chase Sarver, and my product is the Adjust a Slice, the world's first adjustable spatula. Next slide, please. So the problem with traditional spatulas is you oftentimes need multiple size spatulas to serve the same food. They crowd your kitchen drawers because you need so many of them, and they're old-fashioned and not practical anymore. Next slide. The solution that my product, the Adjust a Slice, brings is it's adjustable. You can serve any size slice, small or large. You save money by purchasing just one shape of each Adjust a Slice, and it's a novel idea that makes a great gift, and it is patented. Next slide. So here's a product demonstration video. Keep in mind, this is just a prototype. It's 3D printed. It actually did break during the process of transporting it, but you'll get the idea of what we're aiming for here.
All right, here's the Adjust a Slice. Obviously, it's still a working model, but in a perfect world, it'd be able to go like this big, slightly bigger, actually, we're thinking, to pretty small like that. This one's just 3D printed and it kind of snapped, but yeah, you get the point of it. And then the bottom comes apart too for the dishwasher. It will be dishwasher safe. And it allows you to get scoops this small. I picked a bad pie for this. I'm not a pie expert, to be honest, but you can also get ones this big when you release the handle. Now you can get the perfect slice for everybody.
Okay, next slide, thank you.
All right, here's the Adjust a Slice. Obviously.
Okay, so we did have some questions we needed to validate before we jump into the business. So first was, is there a need for this type of product? The next was, will customers spend the same amount or a little more money on this product? And then feasibility, is it even possible to build such a product? And viability starred because that was the riskiest thing, the riskiest hypothesis we had. Next slide, please. So how I went about validating this is I interviewed 50 people. These were classmates, peers, and then family. And 47 out of the 50 said they have seen people struggle when serving food out of like pots, pans, or even on the grill because of this different size food. And then 50 out of 50 people said they have a spatula in their house. Next slide. So the next question was, would people buy this if we got it made? So I asked people, would they purchase this product if it was priced similarly to a regular spatula? And 45 people out of the 50 said yes, 5 people said no. So then I started thinking, all right, what do people think a spatula goes for? 62% of these people thought that a spatula goes for $10 to $15. 34% said $0 to $9, and just 4% said $16 plus. Next slide. So what I learned from these interviews and also just asking friends and family outside of these interviews is that this product does solve a pretty common problem. Everybody's seen people at Thanksgiving struggling to serve food, and everybody owns a spatula. Everybody that I've ever met, at least. And then viability, it needs to be under $15. I think if it stays under this, we offered more than a regular spatula and it'll be the same price as the regular one, so it's a no-brainer. But it's truly impossible to tell until it's on the shelf and people actually have to pay the money for it. As far as feasibility, yes, we have been quoted at a professional manufacturing company, but the quote was way out of my price range for a college student. And a lot of my mentors actually recommended me to going to colleges such as UW Stout or Green Bay to get it manufactured at one of their labs. So that is probably the biggest pivot I've made so far. Next slide, please. So I'll just highlight a few of the things in my business model canvas. Been tweaking this ever since I started this journey. Few activities we will have once we're started up is social media marketing, start off with online sales and be going to trade and home shows. I think this will be a great way to sell products and get our name out there. The value we bring is an adjustable spatula. It's the first one. Makes scooping food easier. Saves room in your drawers. It's a novel idea that's patented and it's dishwasher safe. Our customers, we believe, will be homeowners, restaurants, might even release a few grill models. And we think this will be a great gift for the person who has it all already. Next slide. So the market size, obviously everybody who owns a home usually has a spatula, but to narrow it down and make it more manageable, we're going to be targeting people in the Midwest, more specifically women aged 30 to 59 in the Midwest. I believe this is the demographic most likely to buy our product. And of those women, we think we can capture about 10% of these women, or roughly 1 million people. All right, next slide. So how we'd be selling them. So we got a few different quotes from manufacturers, and it's going to be about $5 to package and manufacture each one. Again, this is a rough quote. Until we have the official blueprints, it's hard to say, but we're looking at selling them around $15, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. And then we will have the combo pack available. You would save $5 by purchasing this. To be a little incentive just for buying both of our products. Next slide. So in 2014, for whatever reason, my parents delegated me the task of scooping out pie at Thanksgiving, and all my cousins were running up as soon as the pie got brought out, and they were yelling how big of a slice they wanted, and I was getting so frustrated. I ended up just using a fork in my finger to scoop out everything. And the whole car ride home, I was complaining, and I was wondering why has nobody invented an adjustable spatula yet. Down the road, 2020, we now have 2 patents, some rough prototypes, and we are working on getting a shelf-ready product. Next slide. So I learned from this whole process and throughout this year especially to get my product developed at a university for cheaper. Be careful selling on Amazon because people will copy your idea and Chinese companies can work around your patents. And people don't want to spend more than they already do. And I need to develop a shelf-ready product. That is my next step before manufacturing. And the next slide is the thank you slide. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that presentation, Chase. So Chase was our last presenter, and I would like to thank all of our presenters. I think these were wonderful ideas, truly novel, and the amount of work and passion and dedication that these students have put into their ideas and their companies is really an inspiration to all of us, to entrepreneurs around the state. So if we could give them a virtual round of applause, please. I will assume we all did that. Next, while the judges go away and deliberate, I will have Jennifer Souter, our Director of Patents and Licensing, tell you a little bit about our annual Spark Symposium.
Thanks, Adira. So hopefully everyone can see my slides okay. So as Adira mentioned, my name is Jennifer Souter, and I'm the Director of Patents and Licensing for WISIS. So in place of WISIS's popular summer symposium, which honors research, innovation, and entrepreneurship in the UW system, WISIS will present a series of virtual events for students, faculty, and staff. This year, our goal is to showcase student research and innovative projects, encourage interaction between UW system researchers and industry leaders, bolster researchers' grant writing skills, help students explore graduate school and STEM internship opportunities, and highlight cutting-edge research taking place across the UW system. WISIS started offering the Summer Symposium back in 2009, and the gathering in the past had been known as the Wisconsin Science and Technology Symposium, or WSTS. It really began as a venue for faculty to share research results. Today, the symposium has a greater focus on student engagement, entrepreneurial innovation, and research across all disciplines, not just science and technology. In 2020, the event was renamed the WISIS Spark Symposium. And in 2020 and 21, the event temporarily went virtual due to the pandemic. This year, throughout the series, attendees can learn about the new and exciting research taking place across the UW system and interact with the high-level researchers that are making it happen. UW system student researchers will have the opportunity to not only present their research, but also learn how to secure a STEM internship and ask questions about seeking an advanced degree. Faculty and industry leaders will also have the chance to connect through a series of meetups focusing on innovation in the fields of mental health, data science, and STEM education. Faculty and staff that are interested in learning how to add grant writing to their resumes can attend sessions featuring grant writing experts and peers that have been successful in actually securing grant funding themselves. So here you can see our event schedule. We have a great lineup of events that start today with the Wisconsin Big Idea Tournament and run from May through mid-August. These will all take place virtually via Zoom. I'd like to take this time to particularly draw your attention to a few upcoming events, the first of which is the WISE's Quick Pitch State Final, which will take place next week, May 26th on Wednesday from 4 to 5:30. During this competition, student researchers from across the UW system who placed in their local competitions will race the clock to effectively communicate their research in 3 minutes or less. The winner will be named the WISE's Quick Pitch State Champion. We are also excited to feature 3 different student research and innovation showcases on June 2nd and June 9th for students that have been doing their research over the academic semester, and then one later in August on August 11th for the summer research. New to this year programming are our planned meetups that I mentioned earlier. And this is really a great way for researchers, innovators, and industry leaders to join the discussion around these topics, discuss the problems that are challenging people, and ideate around possible solutions. We hope you check out the schedule here and attend as many events as possible. For more information on the virtual series and how you can register to attend or participate, please visit our website at wises.org/spark. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our campus champions. Campus champions are critical to the success of competitions and events such as the Wisconsin Big Idea Tournament. They support and mentor the participants that take place, as well as organize the local campus qualifiers that lead to this event. So on behalf of WISES, I would like to thank all of our campus champions for their contributions to another successful year of the Wisconsin Big Idea Tournament. And I hope you join me in a round of applause for all of our campus champions listed here. Thanks, everyone. So hopefully we will soon have the results from this event, and I'm assuming Nadira will let us know when that happens. For now, sit tight, and we will be with you shortly. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. The judges are back. Oh, here we go. Jennifer, thank you for your presentation. I wasn't here for it, but I'm sure it was great. So next, I would like to invite Arjun Sangha to announce our winners. Arjun, let me know if you've received my messages and are ready to present the winners.
Sorry, not yet. You have to tell me where you've sent them.
Oh, it's in the chat.
Ah, okay, here we go.
Here, I'll send it to you again.
Thank you. So in third place, we have Technology Literacy for Training for Older Adults, Sherry Brenham, UW Green Bay.
Thank you.
So if the winners would just stay on for just a second so we can get a picture. I don't know who's going to be doing that, Adira. All right, got it. In second place, Battery Savior, George.
Sorry, we didn't get it. I just said, okay, I will. Oh. Sorry. Yeah, Sherry, if you could come back for a second.
George and Jason, if you could hold on for 1 second. If you could turn off your video, we'll get a picture with Sherry. Thank you. Perfect. Okay.
Now we're good.
Second place, Battery Savior, George Susek and Jason Tamarin from UW Whitewater. Congratulations. Oh. Going to turn your video back on. There we go. Perfect. Way to go. It's a little bit of a different challenge doing this virtually, isn't it? And in first place, Lingua MD, Gabrielle Richardson from UW Parkside. Congratulations. And I just want to say to all of the contestants, every one of them was just terrific. What an amazing group of students and entrepreneurs and companies. And Gabrielle, congratulations. What a fantastic idea, and look forward to seeing that come to market.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you all again for attending the Wisconsin Big Idea Tournament and supporting our student entrepreneurs. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening. And if you would like to contact any of our teams or students, please feel free to reach out to me. You can find